Yesterday I saw the whole sky was filled with color and light. As you know that vibrations have light. It's very light flickering, very small light each particle of vibration has. And you can see that. But when there are too many, then they can be caught up by your cameras. But yesterday I think the clouds got vibrated. And it's a very great thing to get the clouds vibrated. If the clouds are vibrated, the rain will be vibrated. The rain is vibrated, the land will be vibrated. All the crops that are to be germinated will be vibrated too. So when it goes into the body of human beings, they'll get also vibrations. Is the best way now is to vibrate the clouds, I think, if you have to have many more people for Sergio. That's the idea came into my mind last night, that why not vibrate all the clouds? That's the best way. Moreover, the vibrations are very tiny bit, with one point going into a half circle normally. This half circle then combines to make Om sometimes. Sometimes it makes a chain. Sometimes it gathers together to make crosses. But the basic thing about them is that they can think. And think very fast, much faster than human beings can think. And they are extremely collective, extremely collective. So they move together, thinking the same way, understanding the same way in an absolute manner, and work out the whole thing in a very beautiful, silent way that you cannot even feel. Today we have assembled here to celebrate the Sahasrara Day, which was opened in 1970 on this date. I find this beautiful canopy is like our Sahasrara. And so very apt to have this beautiful arrangement for Sahasrara Day. We have to understand what happens when the Sahasrara opens. When the Kundalini passes through the 5 centers, it enters into the area which we call as limbic area. This area is all surrounded by 1,000 nerves. And when these nerves get enlightened, they look like flames of Vibgyor colors, 7 colors, and very mildly, beautifully shining, emitting peace. But when the Kundalini starts emitting its vibration on the sides, all these nerves get enlightened gradually and start moving on all directions, opening the Sahasrara. And then the Kundalini, what's this noise about? Emerges out through the fontanelle bone area, which we call as Brahma Randhra. Randhra means the whole, and the Brahma is the all-pervading power of God's love. So it enters into the subtle energy which is all-pervading, which we do not feel normally. But then the Chaitanya, the vibrations which are the part and parcel of this energy, all-pervading power, the Parama Chaitanya, they start entering into our brain and showering their blessings in the limbic area they assemble. Now the limbic area is connected to all the area of the brain and also to the nerves. So it starts flowing onto the nerves, giving you the new awareness of collective consciousness called as Samuhik Chetana. So you get a new Chetana, a new awareness, which is showered upon your limbic area. The working of these Chaitanya waves is very interesting. They are normally formed like small commas, but then they go into different forms. They make themselves into swastikas as the four-limbed symbol of innocence, or they become the Omkara, as you know how Om is written, which is the symbol of our doing, our awareness. So when they form the swastika, they try to nourish the left side, and when they form the Omkara, they nourish the right side. Left and right sympathetic nervous system, they nourish. But Sahasrara is to be kept open is rather difficult for people, because it's a vicious circle. First, these vibrations should enter into your brain through the Brahma Randhra when it is opened out, and they should nourish your nerves, by which your left and right side open out, and so more Chaitanya can flow down all these centers. But if your Sahasrara is not properly opened, this process doesn't take place. As a result of that, the chakras don't open, the Kundalini only as very few strands is kept in the spinal cord, and the new strands cannot rise because your chakras are not open. So in Sahaja Yoga, it is very important to keep your Sahasrara open. Otherwise, there's a vicious circle.
Can you tell us what the vibrations are?
What the vibrations are? What are they?
Vibrations, as I said, that is the manifestation of the spirit, but it is a very vague way of expressing it. Now see, there's a nice flame before me. This candle has been enlightened. Now what does it do? It gives you light. Alright. How does it give you light? By throwing light to us, by emitting light. It is the emitting of pulsation from the cell. This light, this is light. Actually there is sound, there is light, very high frequency sound, is very high frequency. Actually many types of sound are mixed in this. There is magnetism in these vibrations. It has all the 5 elements, the subtle of all the 5 elements inside these vibrations. They are talking, they are telling you, they are guiding you, they are helping you. It's because the spirit is working through. Like this light you take in your hand, you go in the darkness and you see that there is an impediment in between. You have to cross it. So you get the idea with this light. The light is doing that for you. So the vibrations actually are the things which are the doers and the enjoyers. They are the ones who enjoy also. If you find a very good self-realized soul coming, then you just feel the self-realized soul and you say, oh, very good, come along, just have it. Come along, just have it. Everybody starts enjoying that that joy that's coming from that person. And that is what it is. That you start enjoying that beauty in the person through vibrations. It's multi-dimensional thing, you see. Though it looks so simple, it's that you're feeling in your hand, that's all. So it is a multi-dimensional thing, just like the God Almighty. And for your information, it is only He does everything. So only the vibrations work out everything. We really do not do anything whatsoever. We are living in fool's paradise. But these vibrations only, which connect you with all pervading power, which are part of the pervading power, these pervading Almighty's eyes, you can say, they are the ones who look after each and every minute thing in this whole world. Can you think of such a multi-dimensional thing? You have seen how vibrations work on people, how they dissolve even the thick bones and how they bring out the Kundalini here and how you see the softness on your head. You cannot explain how. Because they only do everything. They have a universal communication centers and they have universal broadcasting stations, they have universal TV centers, they have everything with them. In short, you just copy them a little bit and you think you are doing something, but you really don't do anything whatsoever. That's why it is said that Brahma, this is the expression of Brahma. These are the vibrations of the Brahma. Is the only truth. The rest is all mithya, is all a maya. It's just an illusion. We live in illusions, you see. He is the enjoyer, he is the doer. You are just in between to see it. It would be like this Mike thinking that he is giving the lecture of Sahaja. It's really like that. So, to explain what is vibrations may not be so simple in all its details, but an overall idea I have given to you. Is it alright?
As it is, Sahaja Yoga is a living process, and it grows both ways, upwards and downwards. In the beginning it grows more downwards, and in the downward process we have to depend on our vibrations very much. We must all the time remember that we are realized souls, that we have got vibrations. This is the way we have to judge. This is the way we have to understand. The vibration is the only way that we know others, not by something. You will feel that a person looks very sweet and nice, and may a snake come out of that person. So best is to judge a person through vibration. Judge everything through vibrations, not through your own understanding or superficial methods of judging others. Now, there are also so many conditionings we have got by which we judge others, and these conditionings can also bias our judgment. So best way is to see the vibrations. Through vibrations you will have the real knowledge about what is happening. Now, many people in the beginning also start misguiding. So best is to develop your vibrations. For that you have to grow inward first of all. If you grow inward deeply, then what will happen? That outward growth will be very solid and would be exact. The principle of Ganesha is extremely subtle. It's the subtlest of subtle, and it exists in everything. That it exists in the matter, in the form of vibrations. There is no matter which is without vibrations. It has vibrations which are seen even in the atoms and also in the molecules of all matter that is existing. And what makes you the feeling that we are now a means, we can say, an instrument, a media by which we express the Ganesha Tattva all over. That is vibrations. So the vibrations itself about which you are asking, these vibrations themselves are nothing but the principle of Sri Ganesha, is Omkara. And when it is, then what is it? That feeling, as I told you, of Vatsalya, the feeling of love between a child and a mother. That feeling, it is the one that is vibrations between the child and the mother. The distance between the two is vibrations. And that's what one has to feel. That he is a child still, and there's the mother, and mother is bringing the child, giving all the powers to the child, bringing up, loving the child, understanding the limitations of the child, looking after all that, all the sweetness, all the wisdom of the child to be appreciated. That is vibrations. So all the relationships that are between human beings and God are through the Ganesha principle. So when it becomes the relationship between you and God, then there are vibrations. And then that same relationship should extend to everything that you do. You should see what things are good, whatever has got vibrations. Today I want to tell you something very important about this all-pervading power we have heard about. These are nothing but vibrations. Parama Chaitanya is nothing but vibrations, where all identities are lost. Where the mother is lost, father is lost, we can say, nothing remains, then it is just this vibrations, this subtle vatsalya exists. That's all. And this is the only thing, out of which everything comes and remains in itself. Everything is inside. This Parama Chaitanya has got everything inside. So we can say that everything is nothing but knowledge, is nothing but truth, is nothing but light. But when the folds of these come out, then we get into the folds of that Chaitanya, and then we become ignorant. But there is nothing like ignorance. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Like there is darkness because there is no light. Once light comes, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So ignorance doesn't exist. But what happens that the folds of this ocean, into that people go and it is lost. Thus we understand one thing very clearly, that we are in Param Chaitanya, we are made by Param Chaitanya, all the time we are surrounded by it. Only thing is, we are sometimes lost in the folds. And why? Why we are lost in the folds is because of our own unawareness. This awareness has to come, that we are part and parcel of that Parama Chaitanya. The whole thing is called as Chidvilasa, is the vilas, is the playful enjoyment of God's attention. In the same way, this Parama Chaitanya acts, and what we get lost is in our awareness that we are Parama Chaitanya. That's why the play starts. The play starts like day before yesterday's puja. What did we do? We are sitting there, it started raining. So, to prove that I can control rain. So it rained, some people were covering up something, this thing. I gave a bandhan. After some time, the rain moved out from the puja to the backside. It was not raining where you were sitting. And after that, it became a sun, and it was so clouded. Sun came, it became sunny. So that's how you have to become aware of the powers of Chaitanya. Now when you give bandhan, what you do is to put the Chaitanya into action. Act here. Though you are supposing in the ocean, but the ocean acts on you all the time. You cannot act on the ocean. You cannot ask water to do this and do that. But as realized soul, you are empowered. Now you can ask water, all right, you dissolve this, you do that. But for that it is important to be the masters. And to become the masters, you see, like a matter becomes a human being. And from human being, you have to become the masters of the matter. And you handle the matter. So ordeals do not remain, because you give a bandhan, it works out. So in every action, in everything, whatever you do, you should know it is the Parama Chaitanya that acts. Only thing you have to be aware of yourself, and aware of it, it acts. And you just jump into that awareness and it works. And that you have seen. But still, so many people do not know. So many people still, though they know through their brains, do not know in their hearts. And so many people, even if they know in their hearts, they do not act in their attention. So only these three things you have to improve. One is your head, another is your heart, and third is your liver. If you can improve these three organs, this Parama Chaitanya will act.
The question is, what is the importance of spreading the vibrations in the environment? Like if we speak to a scientist, they say that electromagnetic vibrations are there. The electromagnetic vibrations perform a function. So we can say to them that these vibrations that we have as a result of Sahaja Yoga is flowing through us and is doing something for the environment. So if you can please say something about what it does to the environment.
Now, electromagnetic vibrations are the right-sided vibrations of the dead, we shall say. Now, our vibrations are what we are calling this Chaitanya, is the combination of all these three, plus the Ardhamatra is the Adi Shakti on top of that. So we have 4 types of vibrations integrated in these vibrations. Emotional side, evolutionary, and the one that is electromagnetic. So we have all these vibrations within us integrated, and on top of that is the 4th one, which is the Adi Shakti's vibrations. They organize, they think, they work out, they direct, they choose, they do everything which is the administrative side. So we have 4 types of vibrations within. So in Sahaja Yoga, when we desire something, we must know what do we desire. First fix your goal. And then relate it to that. The first destroying factor that is within us is the Sri Ganesha's power. And this Sri Ganesha is the power of Mahakali. She first planted Sri Ganesh to emit holiness on this earth. So the whole thing could be vibrated. And as you know, one aspect of Sri Ganesh is also Omkar, means this vibratory awareness which flows everywhere. So these vibrations have 4 sides in it. One is that these vibrations establish holiness, auspiciousness through Mahakali. Then these same vibrations also comfort us through Mahakali. Vibrations do not give you desires as such, if you see. They do not give you desires, but they give you proof of your desires being fulfilled. Supposing you want somebody to be cured, this is your desire, and you give vibrations to that person, so it's a means. So it is also the action part which is there in those vibrations. But this action also comes from desire. So for all Sahaja Yogis, it is necessary to first of all, early in the morning, while taking the name of Ganesha, must say, what is my desire? This is my goal. This is what it is. All activity must be surrendered for this goal. Weakness of the Muladhara makes you imbalanced. And in that imbalance, you lose your way. So one has to be very careful that our Muladhara must be fixed properly. There are so many ways by which you can fix up your Muladhara. And you must fix up your Muladhara first. Then your desire absolutely moves like a kite moves in the sky, stuck to Muladhara. And you can move into any direction, to any height, wherever you go. You are quite in charge. You know how you are moving. It can bind your attention, everything. So what we say that the roots are very important first to be established for the growth of your desire upward like a tree. So they go hand in hand. Mahakali power and Ganesha's power go hand in hand because that's the foundation. If it is based on that foundation, desires go much stronger and effective, and they do not deviate. Every sort of desire is fulfilled till you reach that state where there's no other desire left but to enjoy. You just enjoy without any desire. Desirelessly you enjoy. And that state is to be enjoyed. Just to be enjoyed